Your story in Every Dog Has a Gift, called A Gift for Milo, is a wonderful story. In the story you talk about a very special dog who joined your family, Chad. Can you tell us a little bit about how you came to invite Chad into your life?
My son Milo has autism, and over the years we tried pretty much everything under the sun to help him get through his days, but with autism, change is the thing that really can trip up a day, the transitions from things. And I kept thinking if there was something that didn't change that could just be with Milo all the time, that might help smooth things through those times. And around when he was 9, my dad, who has Parkinson's, was applying for a service dog for Parkinson's. And a little while after he applied, I started thinking, well, why couldn't Milo have a service dog? And I just looked online for service dogs for autism, not realizing that there would actually be a place that did that. And I found Autism Service Dogs of America, and they're in Oregon. And I started looking, and there are other places that do provide service dogs for kids with autism as, therapy dogs and things. But I really wanted to be at a place that focused on autism, because there's this part of it I wanted to fill that was about autism awareness. And so I, when we're out and about, Chad wears a pack and it says Autism Service Dogs of America, and people, you can see them noticing the name. They know he's a service dog because he looks like it, but then when they get closer and they see Autism Service Dogs of America, they get more intrigued, and sometimes they'll come right up to Milo and say, well, what does your dog do for you? And Milo will say, I have autism, he's my service dog.
In the story, you kind of begin with the process of talking about actually going to Oregon and getting Chad and bringing him home. What can you tell us a little bit about what's involved in the training and kind of acclimating a dog to a new family?
Well, let's see. We applied for Chad probably 2 years before he was even born, and the dogs are, they're from 4 weeks old until when they're placed with the family, which is between 18 months and 2 years. They're trained that entire time just to be dogs for kids with autism. So it took about a year. We applied, and which involved our doctors writing letters and friends writing letters of reference and therapists writing letters, and then I had to make a movie of Milo interacting with the dog, and then they accepted him. And then we had to raise $15,000, which took not that long. It took about 6 months. And once we were close to reaching that goal, they were able to decide which dog might be a good match. And then I traveled to Oregon for 5 full days of training. I had to go by myself, and I had to pass some tests so that he was ADA compliant, and so that he's an official service dog. And then I flew back from Oregon with him, and on the plane, he was on the plane with me, and I brought him home, and he got to meet Milo. He'd already, about a month earlier, we'd sent his sweatshirt, Milo's sweatshirt, out to him. And so he had slept with Milo's dirty sweatshirt for about a month. So when I walked in the door, there was a set way that I was supposed to introduce him to the family. And so I had to come in the door, and he was in his pack, and I had to take him around the house. And Milo and Sasha had to sit quietly and wait. And I brought him around the house, and then when I brought him to Sasha, he just sniffed him. But when I brought him to Milo, his tail started to wag. Like he knew Milo before. He just recognized him.